Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who may or may not already know, my name is Alex, aka Yellowberry.
Thanks for being such a great friend. Love, Regina. Oh, that's so sweet.
And by the title of today's video, you already know why you are here. We are going to get into this beautiful gem of a camera. So this is the Sony ZV-1. This is the official vlogging camera that Sony has come out with. This camera is a year old. I actually did receive this camera as a birthday gift from my boyfriend last year. Thanks, babe. Get you a man and invest in your career, okay? I had this camera for a full year now, and I just want to tell you guys all about it. So without further ado, let's get into the video. As I stated before, I did receive this camera a year ago, and originally when I first got the camera, I wanted to give you guys like an unboxing and tell you so much about it, but I just felt like it was not fair to tell you so much about it if I just got the camera. But a year later, here I am to tell you so much about this camera. So this Sony ZV-1 camera is actually considered to be the first vlogging camera. We're gonna get into some physical details about it as well as some internal details about it. So starting with the outside of it, I did get the black ZV-1. This is the first model. I know that they have a white one which came out I think sometime earlier this year. I got the black one. So what comes with it is this dead cat, which is to reduce wind noise whenever you're like recording and stuff. Came with a charger and a battery. So now this camera is really small, as you guys can see. Oh, I'm out of focus. This camera is really small, as you can see. It literally fits in the palm of my hand, and I have a really tiny hand. If you want to compare it to a phone, like look how small this is. Oopsie. It's like really small compared to a phone. Even if I was to flip it open, I mean, I guess like it's a little bit taller than the phone, but for the most part, it's not an inconvenience if you're used to recording things with your phone. So let's start with the top. Like I mentioned, at the top of the camera, there is a dead cat, and this dead cat is to reduce noise, and you can actually take this off. Let me take it off. So you can slide it off, and the good thing about this when you slide it off is that it's a nice little port, so you can add an actual microphone to it, you can add a flash to it, you can add whatever you would like to it, and it has a beautiful built-in camera. The audio is immaculate, okay? Immaculate. The camera that I had prior to this camera was actually the Sony A5100, and if you guys are familiar with that camera, you know that the audio on that camera is trash. And another thing with that camera is it does not have an audio input, so you cannot even attach a mic to it, so you're stuck with that audio. But this audio is really good and really clear. On the top of it, there are two buttons. There's a on-off button, which is right here. There's a mode button. There's a record button. Again, this is a vlogging camera, so basically they just have that record button right there ready for you, where normally like a picture button would be. Right here is a, oh, my hands hurt. There's also a picture capturing button, which is right here, and if you would like to take pictures, you have that option as well. There's also the zoom in and the zoom out right here, which you can use like with the front of your finger. Boom, super easy. And there's also a control button, C1, which is automatically set to be the defocus button for like behind you, so like I can defocus my background, or if I don't want to defocus my background because I want to tell you guys about something that's in my background, I have that easy access just to press it. Already with just these top buttons, you understand why this is the vlogging camera, the ultimate vlogging camera. So next we're gonna go along the side. So along the side we have an input for a microphone. The second one is it says multi. I'm not too sure what the name of that actual input is supposed to be, but it's basically like the new Android charger, that's what I like to call it. And then there's a bottom one labeled as the HDMI, which I like to refer to as the old Android camera. So in my opinion, I have two ways to charge this camera, but again, it comes with a charger, which is the new Android charger. I actually don't think it's the newest Android charger. I think it's like the second generation, but whatever. Y'all get the point when y'all get the camera. Now, as far as the back, this is the screen, really big. Let me actually turn it on so you guys can see. So it's really, 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 really big. So you can open the screen out this way. So if you're vlogging, you want to see yourself, that's pretty cool. You have the option to flip it back to you. So if I'm recording you guys, I can see you guys. Or if you want to get some, if I'm doing like, say for instance, a cooking vlog, or I'm doing an unboxing and I have it somehow hooked up on like a tripod or something, I can flip the camera down and I can have the flip out screen facing me, and that way I can see what is down below me. So like right now I'm able to see that my hand is down below me. This is pretty freaking cool. Like, have I not convinced y'all already that this is the camera that you should buy somebody for Christmas if they're like interested in having a YouTube channel or anything? Did I not convince you yet? And going back to the back of it, so there are some buttons here. So you have a menu button, a function button, this thumb wheel, which goes into like displays. You have your playback button and you have your trash button. But of course you can go into your settings and you can like change the function of some of these buttons. I'm not gonna get into that. Being quite frank, this is not the video for that. So now let's get into the internal features of the Sony ZV-1. So one thing that I love about the Sony ZV-1, like I said, I did get it as a birthday gift last year. If you guys do not know, my birthday is December 13th. So it's roughly about a year since I've had this camera. One thing that I noticed about this camera is the skin smoothening effect. The skin smoothening effect on this camera is immaculate. Okay, if you are insecure about your skin, or you just want to have smoother skin on camera period, you have the option to have either a high skin softening, low skin softening, or you could just turn it off if you want people to see your natural skin. I normally keep mine on low just because, like, I don't know, it just looks better, but you have the option to have it on low, high, or just turn it off. One thing that's also great about this camera is the product showcasing. Let me put this dead cat back on before I lose it. So basically, as you guys seen, right now I'm actually recording on my Sony a7 II, and the autofocus is cool, but it's not quick. So you, as y'all see, when I had the camera up and I moved it, it was still blurry. You do not have that drama when it comes to this camera. When it comes to this camera, literally, you could put something up, then you could put it down and it focuses right back onto you. So the way that this camera does the autofocus is that it tracks your eyes or it tracks your face. So if it cannot get your face, then it'll track your eyes, and it'll basically, if you have your defocus on, it'll defocus everything behind you, or if you have it off, whatever the case may be. But that is how it focuses in on you or on the subject. The internal mic, as I mentioned, is amazing, especially if you're vlogging and you're facing the camera towards you. I honestly don't even feel like you need a mic with this camera. The audio is so good, it's so loud, it's very clear, it's very crisp. And again, with the dead cat, when you're walking, because you're vlogging, it reduces that wind, but you can still hear yourself loud and clear. Something that some of you may find to be a downfall is that this camera actually does not have flash, hence it is a vlogging camera, a video camera, so it's not really made to be taken pictures with. But your picture, you can take pictures with it, as I mentioned before. And even without the flash, I feel like the camera has like an internal light. Again, guys, I'm not that tech savvy, okay, but it does have like an internal light where, like, even if you're in a dark room, it'll kind of brighten it a little bit where it's like really clear to see. Even if your lighting is not all that well, it still brightens up the area really, really well. I wish I actually, if I have some clips, I'll definitely insert them throughout this video of like the things I'm talking about so you guys can see. But right now I don't have a memory card in this camera, so I can't really like record it and show it to you guys. I'm so sorry about that. I should have thought about that beforehand. But it brightens everything. Even in the daytime, your footage comes out amazing because everything is just so illuminated. It's very bright, it's very crisp, it's very smooth. It's just, have I not convinced y'all yet? And now the image stabilization, or like what Sony likes to call it, the steady shot, is amazing. Everything about this camera is amazing. I'm so sorry I keep saying amazing, but basically you have three options when it comes to the steady shot or the stabilization. You can either have it on active, standard, or you can just turn it off. Whenever you're recording with active, it crops in on your footage, so you're not getting like the full landscape. You'll probably get like more so of like your face and like, you know, a little bit behind you. But if you keep it on standard, you pretty much get the same thing. It's just that whenever you're vlogging and like things are passing you by, the steady shot, when it's inactive, it makes it way more smooth. Like a nice, have you ever seen like a really nice smooth clean b-roll? Like that's what that looks like it's just smooth. Like whenever I'm stepping, you're not seeing my, like the camera shaking every time I take a step. It's like, it's very, 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 very smooth, which is why hence they call it the vlogging camera. Okay, but once again, you do have the option to keep it in standard, which is also good for your sit down videos because it's not so zoomed up. It's actually getting more of a landscape. But if you want to keep it in active, do so. When I did all my sit down videos, which I'll tell you guys more so about later on. And just aside from this camera having all these wonderful features, you can shoot in 4K. This camera is crispy clear even without the 4K option, but you have the option to shoot in 4K. But just a word of advice, if you are shooting in 4K, it does take up much more memory, so you do have to use a specific memory card. I'll link everything down below in the description box. Don't worry, I got you. And another thing that made this camera really hot is that it came with a, well, it didn't come with it, but you could buy it, purchase it separately. So this is the vlogger kit. So basically, let me just screw this on. It is basically like a mini tripod holder vlogging stick is what I like to call it. So you can hold it like this, open it up. Oh, I forgot to mention to you guys that when you open up your viewfinder, you're able to just turn your camera like that. And if I close it, it turns off the camera. So that makes it super easy when you're vlogging. You don't have to keep pressing the on and off button. Like, telling you, this camera is so clutch. But anyway, so this is sold separately. Again, I'll link this down below as well if you want to purchase everything at once. And basically, you have a few buttons in the front. So you have like the power button right here, which is also the recording button. You have the lock so that when you're holding it, it's not pressing anything. And one thing I really like about this as well is if I need to zoom in and out, the toggle is just right here. And you have the option to take a photo if it's on like photo mode. And yeah, that's basically it about this camera. And I know some of you may have a question like, can you use this for your sit down videos? Absolutely. So I'm gonna link some videos up above as well as down below that I used as a sit down camera with this, sit down camera with this camera. The footage came out amazing, crispy clear, you can hear me. And like I said, I actually do use a mic. Like right now I have this mic, I forgot the name of it as well. I'll link it down below. I'm telling y'all, I'm not tech savvy, but I'll link this mic down below as well. So I was also able to put it here, unlike my Sony ZV-1. Like, this camera was such an upgrade compared to that camera, and I thought that camera was great until I bumped into this camera. This camera is literally everything you need. So if you're starting up a YouTube channel for the new year, or if you want to give somebody a nice gift and they want to start up a YouTube channel, I think this is a great starting camera for them. Everything is basically user friendly, just a one button to record. It's not, you don't have to go into the settings and do this and do that. And of course, if you want to get different type of, again, I'm not tech savvy, but if you want to get different type of settings, you have that option. But for somebody like me who's not that tech savvy and I just need something that's simple, this does it all. Trust and believe, y'all. Trust and believe. But that'll be it for this Sony ZV-1 review. If you guys have any comments, please comment down below, especially if I didn't cover anything that you were actually looking forward to hearing about. Please comment down below. I'll answer to the best of my ability. I want to thank you all for tuning into today's video. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Hit that red subscribe button down below. I love you all, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.